Don't be aggravated.
What?
Guess it's loading. All right, Shalom Fam. It's been a while since I've done any type of video, but this evening, another quick presentation. The topic for the beginning of the evening is first. Before I start, let's do a mic check. Fam, give me a 1 if you can hear me. If the sound is good, because I know that I don't have my mic this evening, so I'm hoping that the sound will be good. If it's not good, then I need to make another plan B. All right, it should be coming up now. There it is. All right, there it is. All right, so we got a 1. I see a 1. All right. You got to refresh your screen. All right, so fam, tonight the topic is going to be foreigners in Tanzania. Do we have a future in this African country? Now, a lot of people have questions about Tanzania, and we know for the past couple years, people have been dealing with different, challenges with moving back to the motherland, not just in Tanzania. So I think this topic will be relatable for other countries, other African countries, because a lot of the same issues that are in, that black foreigners or diasporas you face in other countries. So some of the things that I'm going to talk about, me and my mom, Sister Betty, we're going to talk about things that you have to think about, spiritually prior to making certain decisions. So let's get into the presentation. So fam, we're going to first start off with understanding how do you choose your location? Like what do you see you and your family, or what do you see yourself doing on the continent, or whichever African country you choose to move to? What do you see yourself doing? How do you see yourself thriving or living? I think a lot of people get this romantic or like this fantasy view of Africa from YouTube, and they look at the pretty videos and all the fun things and not understand that it's a lifestyle change from the West. So it's a big transition that you have to make. So fam, we're going to talk about, as black foreigners, can we live in Tanzania? All right. So like I mentioned before, fam, location is everything. So once you're choosing your location in whichever African country, it's very important for you to consider a lot of things. Now, for the sake of time, we're just going to focus on land. The first thing that we're going to do is focus on land, because land is something that a lot of the black diaspora choose to move to Africa because they can purchase land and because it's a lot of land available and you can get it for a good price. And sometimes we make decisions based off something we've seen on YouTube. So I know us, yes, we looked at land that we so basically we looked at land based off, different people that we connected with, and we noticed different areas. But when we first understood the price in Tanzania, we knew that it would be other land, like not just in these areas that people were promoting on YouTube. So we always had that mindset. Even when I went on my first visit, we knew that we would look at different locations. So fam, what are some key factors to consider when selecting rural areas or rural location in Tanzania for living off the land, such as a community and access to resources? So a lot of people get to Tanzania and they would prefer to live off grid and they would prefer to live within a community. But what type of lifestyle changes does that require? You and your family unit. How do you plan to like transition from being in the West and having a Walmart or a CVS on every other corner? How can you transition for that? So it's just like it's a lifestyle change, rather you even when you move to the city or or a urban area. So what are some key factors to think about? So choosing the right location is very important. So Tanzania, we know it has urban centers like Dar, which is like modern, and you have access to different restaurants, different stores, shops. It's very good to think like, hey, maybe I can start in a urban area versus a rural area. But the possibility of living off land and focusing on rural areas is very possible in Tanzania, because it's so much rural land that you can purchase land in. So we haven't visited really the Kilimanjaro land. We kind of got into Arusha. We noticed some land, from what our lawyer told us about, but the Southern Highlands and Moragora, we plan to visit that pretty soon. And the driver that we connected with, which is we consider a friend, Uringa is a mountainous, a beautiful area. So you just have to know what you want before you make a decision, and don't just get connected with people who say they know about land and they really are just trying to get you to purchase land or live in the community that that they're living in. Breathe it right. Okay, so fam, let's talk about food and water security. So these are some things that I want you to think about as you want to pick your land or pick your location. It's important that you think about how are you and your family going to secure food and water. So what methods can you use to ensure food and water security? So I learned from, you know, my elders, Mr. Cloud and Samaria, they already have land set up. They already have their water secured. They already have their food secured. So I know two things that you must do before you make a decision. Like, can you drill a borehole in this area? Is it gonna be flooded in rainy season? Can you catch rainwater? All right. So rain harvesting is something you can do in Tanzania. You can dig a borehole in Tanzania. It's gonna cost you quite a bit because for one, you're a foreigner, you're not gonna get the local price, and they're gonna charge you based off the depth or how deep you go. So think about how you're gonna get your water before you choose your land. So if you choose a rocky area, you choose to get land on a mountain, how are you gonna dig through those stones to get water? All right, can you grow food on a mountain? What do you have to do? So think about all these things before you decide on land. Water or rain harvesting, you pretty much can do that anywhere in Tanzania because rainy season is starting now, and for about 2 months it's gonna be heavy rain. So if you have your harvesting thing set up, that'll be something that you can you know plan to put in place once you build and get your roof on and all that stuff. So, and I'll talk a little bit more about that in a little bit. All right. So next, grow your own food. All right. So Mr. Cloud always tell me, you know, plant what you eat and eat what you grow. I can't think of his exact quote, but it is very important. A lot of us coming from the West, we don't grow food in the West. So we get to Africa and we like, oh, well, it's going to be the same. We're going to have access to everything, which you do, but you want to be able to grow food on your land and eat the food that's on your land. So you don't want to have to, if you run out of money, if money getting low, can you go out in your backyard to get some food to survive until get back, get yourself back up. But another thing, fam, we have to think about how we are going to make money. So you can grow a lot of food and grow things on your property that you can sell and even barter with, other locals. So that's just something else to think about. So, fam, this presentation is not gonna be long because me and Sister Betty have a conversation that we want to have with you all about decisions that you make on the motherland. All right, and prior to going to the motherland, so we know from experience the things that you have to go through, and we have seen and witnessed so many people go through so many things, and they haven't even gotten to the beginning stages of building on their land, and they have been in Africa. People have been in Africa for years, 2 and 3 from the people that we know, and they don't even have anything to show for it. So if you want to get to the continent and you want to stay there and you want to have something to show for your hard labor and all the work that you put in the West, it's important that you make these decisions the way that we're going to recommend you make them this evening. Okay, so now we're gonna hear from more from Sister Pastor Betty, Sister Betty, to y'all. Wisdom of the world. Do you want to see? Do you see a man wise in his own eyes? There is more hope for a fool than for them. That's Proverbs 26:12. So for the wisdom of this world is foolishness in Yahuah's sight, and that's First Corinthians 3:1. I don't remember if that's 3:1, but I hope that's 3:1. So when you're making these decisions, you can't make it based off the world view. You have to make your decisions based off what Yahuah is putting in place for you. So you can't get all caught up in YouTube and seeing these pretty presentations that people put on and these, talks that they put on about land and all the glory and all the beauty that you can get from coming to Tanzania. It's beautiful at the beginning, fam, but it's like really getting in the trenches. Like when you get to Tanzania or you get to any African country, you gonna have to get down and dirty. Far as you're gonna be in survival mode for that first 6 to 7 months. You're gonna be trying to just survive. We know from I'm telling you, we know from experience. If my mom and my uncle didn't come and visit us and kind of just give us a boost, we would have been already, back in the West from the first part of our trip. But it's really important on who you connect with. So let me go to the next. All right, so connecting with the wrong people will derail your entire plan for Africa. So this is the message, fam. Yes, we talked about rain harvesting, and I talked about the land and rural area and urban area. Those are all things that you have to consider before you make any decision, because a lot of us get roped in and people tell us, oh, go consult with a lawyer, start a business, invest your money, pay thousands of dollars to get your visa, get all set up. Why are you getting all those things set up when you don't even know if you really want to live in that country, in that area, or anything? So I feel like the most important thing is finding out how you're going to connect with the land. How are you going to live there? Do you see yourself really living there and thriving and being able to survive, even if you don't have any funds? So your first investment should be how your land and your water and how you're gonna get that all set up. Because starting a company, that's easy. Tanzania would love the government systems. They would love to have you start a business and invest in their country, get you a local partner. So that stuff will come, but it's important for you to look out for the land, look out and see where you're going to live at, not renting, because that again has a threshold. You can't rent and survive in Tanzania forever. So if you want to literally set a foundation for you and your family, it's important for you to look at the land. So I know Sister Betty is typing something right now, but I know she's finna chime in just a little bit. So just keep in mind that everything that people put online is not true. Like, it is this fantasy that we have been sold, you know and if we don't wake up and really like ask these hard questions from the beginning. So I have let me go to my other question. So I had another question that I wanted to add. uh there we go. All right, so are you able to engage with local people and the diaspora and build a strong support network? you know can you do that? And like I said, connecting with the wrong people will derail, your entire plan in Africa. So, Sister Betty, I'm gonna let you chime in on that.
Shalom family, shalom family. I want to say thank you to some of the diaspora that I see on live tonight with me and my son. I know I have been AWOL for a while. The community have not heard anything from me. That is because of my ruach was broken some 2 months ago, 3 months ago, of some of the activity that was going on some of these platforms, the outright lies, the outright deception of these big platforms to the community, to the diaspora. How can we as a people, we are a nation, we are the nation of Judah, Yaakov, and yet in 2025, I see that our own community is a downfall, is still being a downfall for us all. It amazed me how you get on these platforms and you push forward pure lies. I'm talking about lies that are detrimental to the community, especially to our family that are in their retirement ages. See, it takes a cold hearted, wicked person to do certain activities that are very detrimental to people who are pulling out their 401k, who are pulling out their life savings, because we all can see what is going on in the world right now. We can all see the downfall of the dollar. We can all see the uprise of AI and Bitcoin and all these other financial currencies that they're pushing forward. We can all see the mark of the beast right on the horizon, and still yet you deceive your community. And you see what is going on because you're going after filthy lucre. You're going after gain that's only going to benefit you and your family. But what I'm here to tell you tonight is you're digging your own grave, because right now it is not the time to be doing all sorts of wickedness to line your own pocket for your own growth and showing no love to your own community. Yet you say you are righteous, but you are that fool that the Bible and Proverbs talk about. You are that fool deceiving yourself. You're like the criminal who says, I'm going to defend myself, not knowing anything about the judicial system. You are a fool. You are a fool in the Most High's eyes. You are not being righteous for your bloodline, for your community. And you talking about Esau helping destroy us, but yet you in the Hebrew Israelite community, you're destroying your own people by outright lies and deception. And you want me to be on your platform looking at you like you're righteous. And you're doing this to our people. I know some people now that have lost their life savings on the continent, thinking that they have connected with the right community. Because I tell you, standing in front of the orange grove from where I am in Florida, I have oranges for sale, but it's a big tree right behind me. Why am I trying to sell you what you can go pick? So you're selling people things that they can go and do themselves. They can go and find out this information themselves. But we as a people, what does he say? You can hide anything in a book from us because we won't pick the book up to read it. You can hide all the history that we need to know. Yes, it's in the Bible. Yeah, but do a little bit more digging and go and find history and connect history with biblical. And then you know that you know. So why won't you do the same thing before you go to the continent? Why won't you go and do some real research? Stop going to one source. You people pay for consultations. You get that consultation from that one source and you run with it. You run to the bank and you get your money out and you send it, and you have not did your due diligence. Go do your own due diligence before you connect with anybody. With us, with Jamaica Me Travels, with anybody else that are out there doing consultations. Do more than one. Do more than one. So I'm going to put the blame back on you elderly people who go and drag all your funds out of your 401k, out of your bank account, from in your mattress, from under the ground that you done dug a hole and put it in a can, going to get all your life savings on one consultation. Better yet, take $2,000 of that money and go visit and see the land for yourself. Go talk to some people for yourself. Hook up with those people and let them show you other people who are doing what you want to do. Do you have a sample? You know how you go in the store and you ask for a sample. Can I sample that to see if it's really what I want? But see, I see you going out there doing all this without even a sample. That makes you a fool. That makes you a fool. Yes, that's what I said. I said it makes you a fool. Giving somebody your money and you haven't had a sample. You barely can go get married without sampling what you finna marry. You already sampled what you're gonna marry. And that's not biblical, but we do it. We do it. Why you gonna do the same thing when it comes down to your money? You'll go sample everything else, but you won't go sample and test out what you're spending your money on. You just acting ignorant and believing what they say. Go and see with your own eyes before you pledge your money and your life savings to a community that you don't even see. Only thing that we supposed to be trusting in that we cannot see Yahuah. But we know that he's there because he proves to us every day that we wake up and open our eyes, have the health and the strength to wake up and do what we do over and over. So we know that he exists. That is the only thing that I'm going to go into with my eyes closed and don't know for a surety. Because with him, I know for an surety. If I trust in Yahuah with everything in me, I cleanse my heart and I fall down and worship him and him only, he is not going to lead me astray. He has given me this type of discernment. Okay, that's one thing, the discernment. But the other second part too is I have visited the continent. I have visited different lands, different parts of lands in the continent. So I know I have had my feet on the ground. I have visited communities that are growing and thriving off of their own back. Have you done that yet? If you have not done that yet, I don't want you to tell me nothing. If you just doing all your research from your computer in America, what are you telling me? You telling me I can do the same thing that you're doing. I can get my computer and go visit all 54 countries in the continent. But does that make me an expert? Does that make me an expert because I got a computer and I can go type and see all other countries? No, that makes you a surfer of the internet for pictures and information. But here me and my son is giving you firsthand information. First-hand information, not second-hand, not a consultation, but first-hand information of the continent, how to build a house, how to do a borehole, how to go by getting an attorney, how to go and visit before you spend your money. Here we are giving you first-hand information, but this is not the information you want, though. Some of you out there like it.
The fantasy.
You like the fantasy. You like that picture that they paint. An artist can paint a beautiful picture, but does that mean that's the truth of that picture? No, the artist painted it. He can paint whatever his mind thinks of, and you just go with that. But you don't want to hear the real that I can show you, that we can prove that this is factual, what I'm telling you. That's too hard for you to comprehend because another thing, some of you said the chains are off of your ankles, your neck, but your mind is still chained. You're not unchained. It's so hard for you to break out of that delusion, to unplug from this worldly system, which is ran by the beast. It's so hard for you Hebrews to do that because you're the same people the Most High sent out into captivity because of your stiff neck. You're unwilling to change. You're unwilling to walk in righteousness. You're just unwilling. So make sure that before you do any more connecting in America, you better save some of that money. You save some of that money and go visit. Here Solo Soul is telling you that we have Airbnbs that you could have came, put your feet on the ground, and did some touring and some visits, meeting village leaders, meeting with a reputable attorney, going to some reputable communities where food is actually growing, water is actually flowing, people are actually working on the property on their own sweat, getting it out the dirt, getting it out the mud. But you love YouTube videos. You love to get your information and your factual facts from videos, not from truth, not from boots on the ground. But I'm here to give you this warning from Yahuah. You have not seen me on a platform simply because a lot of unrighteousness is going on in our community. And trust me, all you out there, you creepers out there who can hear this message, your day is coming. It's coming because you're deceiving the Most High's people, his true believers, his true followers who are seeking him and seeking a community for our people with all their heart, all their might, and all their savings. And you're being deceitful. You're being very deceitful now. But look, I'm one who knows when I see deceitfulness. You could say, welcome back to YouTube, Sister Betty. Thank you.
All right, fam. So as we were saying from the beginning, it's a lot of warnings that have went out, and I was just reading the comment, about plenty of people have visited eco villages. That I agree with you. Plenty of people have visited the motherland, and they still were scammed. And I don't know too much about, you know, that group. Um, I don't know too much about them, but I do know that they were also connected with some other scammers in Tanzania. So just put it like that. It's very sad that our own people will deceive us, or they say their intentions were not to deceive. Their intentions were to help people, but then they got burned, and then they hardened their heart, and so they put their guard up. Whatever, all these excuses that people make for doing wrong to other people is beyond ridiculous. But the point of the matter is, fam, if you want to thrive in an African country, you have to go to the African village leaders and the African government. You're gonna have to know, like my mom said, you have to do your due diligence as
You
far as
have
the
to.
law. Yesterday I spent almost an hour just to get my mind off of everything, is just reading different laws and trying to understand, like, how do you secure village land, the Village Land Act. If you really want to live off land in Tanzania, you have to look up the Village Land Act. It's been in place since 1999. So they obviously have had foreigners come in with their companies and purchase land, and they lease these lands to them for 99 years. So you don't need a group. The thing is, you don't need this group or these people who are YouTubers to lead you, is what we're trying to tell you. We don't want to lead you either. We just want to tell you, hey, you better be looking out from your left and your right. But one thing we do know, you do need a community. You do need a network of people, and you don't have to give them your
Absolutely.
money. Y'all can just
Absolutely.
help each other.
Yes.
Help each other. And we trying to get to a stage where we can say, hey, we got a community of people that we coming together for
Yes.
a unified goal, and we want to get land, and we want to set our families up on that land. And they have NGOs, they have people who are setting up these type of things. But again, that's a risk, because you don't know people's truth. Only the Most
True
High Yahuah can
intentions.
know the true intentions and the truth in somebody's heart. So the heart is wicked, you know.
The heart is more wicked than any
So
any
I
part of
know,
the
and
body.
I really do, I do hurt. We don't lack empathy. I think some of these people on YouTube, they lack empathy. They don't care what you feel when you have moved to the country, moved to the continent, spent your money, and they getting your money. They get mad. What,
Mm-hmm.
irritated. Well, you decided that you were going to be a leader, so don't get frustrated when the pot get hot and you have to deal with issues like what Moses had. He had thousands and thousands of people he had to deal with issues. So then he went to. Did he go to Zipporah's?
Dad
His
Jethro.
Jethro, and then he told him, like, hey, I'm dealing with, I got the Most High said I got to resolve all these issues. So then Jethro told him, you have to appoint
Yep.
righteous people in your community
Mm-hmm.
to help you with all these
All
disputes and
these.
issues.
Yes.
But I don't even really see these righteous so-called leaders, man, that we are
No.
supposed to
No.
have within this community. Like,
No.
they are not righteous, because
No.
you, as a righteous person, you would not get on YouTube and blast people the way that
Oh my
some of these people are doing. So
goodness.
you would
Abba
not do that.
Yah.
Sadly, we don't want to. I didn't want to speak on any of that, and I'm not going to go into detail on any. And I hope Pastor Betty can restrain, and we not go too much into that, because this is not what this is about. This is about connecting with the right people. We telling you,
Mm-hmm.
connecting with the wrong people can derail you. We have seen it. We are
Oh my
continuing to see it
goodness.
over and over again. Like, speaking to people, I'm learning, like, oh, it's still happening. Like, how are we
Still
still giving
happening.
people our money? How are we on the continent, living in the country, and we still giving people our money? Stop. Hold your money. Hold your money. If you have a company, start your own company, get you a local partner, get somebody that go to the government. You need to be involved in every aspect of your company if you're starting one. I think that we trust too much. We trust too much, and I think we always been a trusting people. That's why we always get led astray and deceived. So I'm just hurting on another level. But for the people who just coming in again, just to recap, you know this is really about making that decision on location, on where you want to live in the country, and it's important that you consider the areas, and most importantly, think about how you plan to, get secure food and water. How are you going to serve the Most High Yahuah in a righteous way? That should be your first. That should be your first. But
And
I'm
just to finish up on this, family, by me being a right at retirement age myself, it disturbs my ruach when I see people our age getting taken advantage of. It's just something that just crushed my spirit when it was happening, crushed my ruach when it was happening, because I'm thinking about it. What are we? Who are we if we continued on the same road as a slave Negro in the house Negro? How are you? Other communities, Mexicans, Puerto Ricans, whites, Italians, Greeks, every other nation on the planet can come together. They will fight and kill each other. But whenever it's time to come up against you, they all come together. They all be Psalm 83. They all be confederate against you. And you can see it, and you know that this is happening. And yet, you won't even come together to protect each other. You would. It's just like when the northern part of Judea was fighting against the southern part. They was fighting so much they didn't realize that Titus was coming in to kill them. They would stop a little bit and fight with Titus, and then they go right back at it. So after you they're killing up each other, here come the Romans come in and slaughter y'all, because you can't stop going at each other's throat. Here it is, supposed to be 2025, and you still doing the same thing you did in 70 AD, 69 AD. You still on the same thing, Hebrews. You cannot see the delusion that Hasatan have you still cutting each other's throat, and you still doing it. You're still on it. When are we going to learn from the past? If you can't learn from your past, something is wrong with you. Something is wrong with you. Even at the end, we know that we're in the last days. We know it. We can feel it. We can see it. We know this for a fact. And yet, in the last days, you people won't stop cutting each other's throat. In the last days, every other nation is coming together. And you people won't stop cutting each other's throat. You African American Negroes are a different type of human. You're a different type of human. You got Burkina Faso, Mali, the Sahel. They're coming together against this colonial system. They're breaking the beast system right in Africa. And here you are, some of the most educated, brilliant people it is, and you still cutting each other's throat over some little dirt that we trying to buy on the continent to come together to make a community. Why won't you people stop doing that? Why won't you stop doing that? You're doing the same thing that Esau and Jacob was doing. Yet Esau still doing it, and you still walking around here with that very same Esau spirit against your very own people. And you say you love the community. You love the house of Judah. You love the house of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and the 12. Us being the lion nation. You say you love us. You don't love yourself. If you don't look in the mirror and you say you love yourself, but you can't love your brother, you got no love for him, something wrong with you. You need to stop the foolishness. If it don't stop now, when are you going to do it? You gonna wait until America fall down where you could take your dollar bill and go to the bathroom with it when you can't do nothing with it? You're going to wait until you can't do nothing with your jewels, your gold, your house, nothing with it. None of that is going to be able to buy you a loaf of bread. Do you not see how expensive eggs and bread is? Do you not know this beast system is running rampant because he knows that his time is short and his time draws nigh? You can't even see it. Here we are trying to get back on the continent to build a community and grow food and feed ourselves before this country fall down. Yet you cutting my throat. You still cutting my throat, but you get on your big platform and say, I'm righteous. I'm righteous. But you go to bed tonight and you think about what I'm saying. The Most High will deal with you in your unrighteousness. He already know the heart is wicked. He already know what you're doing, what you're thinking right now. He already knows. So I am telling you, fall down on your face and repent. Repent. Deny this world and deny the workings of this world. Stop loving the world. Some of y'all was getting ready to get, y'all got y'all eggs colored yet. You got your children Easter basket and your fancy fluffy dress and your penguin suits ready yet. You got your ham on the table. You getting ready for that. See, some of y'all want to be lukewarm and straddle the fence. You can't hide. You can hide from the world that you doing this, but Yahuah know what's in your heart, that you're planning this wicked day. See, some of y'all still don't want to follow the law, statutes, and commandment and keep the Sabbath. That's gonna keep you saved. That's gonna keep you safe. That's gonna put a hedge of protection around you when this world continues to fall. You better come up out of this pagan wicked mess. Talking about some Ash Wednesday. That's a demonic. Ain't no Ash Wednesday in no Bible. That's them demonic Catholic people over there putting that upside down cross on their head, talking about some Ash Wednesday. And you got Pastor Jamal Bryant up in his big fancy pulpit talking about, we gonna do this for 40 days. They get the 40 days and 40, they get that out of scripture. And now they demonized it to their own ways. This is what they do. And yet we still follow this system. Come up out of that and follow the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High so we can put our hedge of protection back around us as a family.
On that note, family, I'm going to read Acts 2:44 and 47. All the believers were together and had everything in common. That's what we need. We know we better come together and have everything in common. That means we serving the Most High Yahuah, keeping his law, statutes, and commandments. They sold property and possessions to give anyone who had a need. Every day they continued to meet together in the temple courts. They broke bread in their homes and ate together with glad and sincere hearts, praising Yahuah and enjoying the favor of all the people. That's the blessings when we keep the Most High's laws, statutes, and commandments. We can come together as a community. We can break bread with each other. We can sell land together and give land to people when they come. I remember hearing some other stuff from another YouTube channel saying, oh, well, we giving land away, we doing this raffle, we doing this and we doing that. Like y'all giving away land, but then you selling land and then you just, you charging people for this. And I believe that you need to make a living. I'm not going against that. I believe that when you move to the continent, you make an investment in the sacrifice and you are entitled to start a business and do it legit. But some people just are not doing it up front and doing it the right way. So I know a lot of us are going to Tanzania and going to Africa because we're looking for a community and we're looking for that, that perfect situation. But I'm going to tell you now, man, it's no pain, no gain, I'm going to tell you. So you might as well get ready to go through the pains because learning the language, dealing with the people in the country is going to give you a run for your money. You just got to lean on the Most High, and be patient. But don't run over there again. Don't run over there connecting with the wrong people, trying to connect with everybody, and I'm happy that I feel like once you see what people are really trying to do and you see what angle, some of the diaspora come at you with, the Most High will, if you lean on the Most High just open your eyes to see everybody for what it is. And you will just be able to move you'll move silently. You'll move with just your unit, just your circle. We have a small circle in Tanzania. We move amongst those people and we don't go outside of that right now. And for the people who want to do a consultation and we stand on this and we stand 10 toes down with Jamaican African Travels, Mr. Clyde and Miss Maria. They are some of the most genuine, legitimate people that we have dealt with in Tanzania, righteous people, followers of the Most High Yahuah. And they don't even brag or big themselves up like this. I'm telling you, y'all, they are some humble people. They don't talk about themselves like this. It's just us because we can see it. And the people that have interacted with them and they have helped, they know. You just have to experience it. So Some of us want to go to Tanzania and we want to connect with only Americans. Well, you go over there and you connect with some of these Americans and watch how they deal with you. Watch how they move with you. I'm gonna just put like nothing against us African or Black Americans. Some of us just ain't got our heart right. You know, just say it like that. But we do got some things to work on. So if you really want to get your land set up, you want to get information about how to move your family there, how to get your business set up. You want them to recommend maybe a lawyer or two lawyers or whatever. Jamaican African Travels can connect you with the right people, especially if you plan to retire. I wanted to talk about, visas and permits, but I'm going to say that for another day because I feel like right now we are dealing with just that, understanding what, as a working age person who's going to be working for another 20 to 30, y'all's willing, and you will not be at retirement age in Tanzania. So your visa and permit or your resident visa is going to cost you thousands every 2 years. So that's something you have to think about if you're at the working age. If you're under 55, every 2 years you have to pay a sum of money. So you have to know these things. You have to understand what it's going to take for you to be in the country. And I think that's a conversation within itself because I've been doing so much research on that because I'm trying to lay out how I'm gonna set me and my family up again, in that situation. So either way, fam, if you are in the working age, you're under 55, and you would not hit 55 for some years, it is best that you come up with a comprehensive, realistic plan. You sit with a lawyer, you sit with whoever you have. If you plan to live on the continent, you can't be leaving the country every 3 months. That's not realistic, especially if you have 2, 3 kids and a wife. Ours just you and some family members. Y'all can be leaving the country every 3 months. You can't afford to do that unless you're well off, and you can. But it's better to try to get you something that's gonna last you for at least 2 years. But fam, that's really all we got for you. I mean, I see some comments and stuff that I'm just not gonna speak on simply because I just don't want to touch on those things no more. See, what we're doing is staying in our lane, fam. We're gonna stay in our lane because it's better, it's peaceful in our lane. We ain't out here starting fights with nobody. We ain't doing no internet beef, we ain't doing no YouTube beef. We working and minding our business, serving the most high Yahuah. So I know that a lot of us have been hurt and burned by certain people. I'm sorry that you have been hurt and burned by these people, but now it's time to move. Just disconnect from these people as much as you can, because when you cannot get along with a person and you can't get along with a certain group of people, it's no point in you trying to go reconcile that. The Most High will have to reconcile that, and right now we don't have nobody who finna hold anybody accountable, and that's unfortunate for us right now. So, I was hoping that I could get hoping I can get Mr. Cloud and Miss Maria to get on and just talk a little bit. How you doing, Thomas? Appreciate you tuning in, man. Thomas, you're welcome to come to Africa too, man. Just to let you know.
Oh, I thought. Oh. Yeah,
I see it, man. Hey, fam, but I'm gonna let y'all go because I'm not gonna hold y'all up. But we appreciate y'all tuning in. And just Betty, you want to say a little something before we go?
Yes, family. Everybody out there who listens to me, y'all already know I'm a very, very outspoken person, and when it's truthful, and when I'm dealing with the Most High Yahuah, I am very, very hot for him. I'm not cold and I'm not lukewarm. I'm hot. I'm hot. I'm Deborah. I'm Deborah in the scripture. I'm that warrior for the Most High. I would get on the battlefield with anybody when it comes down to my people, and when it comes down to being righteous and truthful, when it comes down to being, to misleading your family, your bloodline. What type of people does it take to do that? Family, ain't nothing righteous about that. It's wicked. You watch out who you trust. Like I said before, I meant what I said. Be careful who you trust and who you listen to, family. If those people ain't grown nothing but a dry stick and not a mango tree on some fertile dirt, why are you listening to them? Why are you listening to them? Jamaican African travel. Jamaican African travel, excuse me, family. I see the fruit of their labor. we have been dealing with them now for about 2 years.
A year and a half.
A year and a half. And I've been to their land. I've been to their house. I've been welcome to sit in their house for food. They've been to where we are. They've been to we've been around. So I know what I'm talking about. I know what I'm talking about, not what I heard, what I've seen with my own 2 eyes. Be careful who you get your consultation from, family. Be careful who you trust. Be careful who we give our last savings to, fam. Don't be deceived by wicked people who looking for filthy lucre. Pray to the Most High and ask him to lead and guide you on this. Trust nobody until you know for a surety, and check around. Even if the person you trust a lot, it still don't hurt to do a second check or even a third check. Check them out first, family. Let's not walk in darkness. Let's walk in light. Love you with the love of Yahuah. Be baruch in all that you do.
All right, fam. It's time. We love y'all. We'll do this again. Shalom. Shalom, y'all. Shalom, shalom. Yeah, we're going to do this again, y'all, soon.